Alright, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is KangasKhan, and I'm bringing you my first ever StarCraft 2 commentary. And so let's all get excited here. It's going to be a Zerg versus Zerg, and it will be on Nerazim Crypt, one of the newer maps from the new patch that just recently came out. And overall, I kind of like this map. It's pretty good for pretty much every setup. So you can see here you have your main pretty wide open, plenty of space to hide tech or whatnot, and easily defended natural. And then you can also take your third right here. It's very convenient. But as we can see here, this will be a Zerg versus Zerg. Sorry about that. My opponent spawned in the bottom left is the blue Zerg. His name is Kiltro. And I, of course, is spawning in the top left as KangasKhan. That is my alias. But you may call me KangasKhan. And before we get into this real fast, it's been kind of a funny day. I've been learning, how Fraps works. Been learning how the video editing thing works, and I've just gone through so many trial and errors. So I think this is my 6th or 7th time casting this game just to try and get it right, because I've had so many mistakes. So hopefully it's enjoyable for everyone. God knows I've had a fun time trying to figure this out. But anyways, I also have a surprise for everyone at the end, so definitely stay tuned for the end of this cast. And let's look here at the production tab. Pretty much identical. I'm a little bit faster on my build because he sent a drone scout. And I'm against drone scouting in Zerg versus Zerg because I feel like in any mirror matchup, the slightest leads that you get will, carry over tremendously into mid-game, late-game, etc. And, scouting, as far as that goes, you can just do these overlords. It's really easy. They have pretty good sight. And all you do is you set them over your attack paths. And basically, if he does any kind of early pull aggression or he tries to run in there with a mass Ling attack, you're going to scout it from a mile away. So anyways, I pass this overlord on the way with this overlord, and so I pretty much know where he spawned. I know he's down here, and I should really be moving this overlord into position, maybe over here or something, maybe around the third. But anyways, his drone scout finally gets into my base. He sees a 14-14 opener. And with this opener, I pretty much go for 6 Lings, a Queen, and Metabolic Boost all at the same time. I'm going to keep my drones on gas because I want to go for a Baneling opener. And the drone scout will see that if he's paying attention to that. And so my Ling's going to pop out here, shoo away the drone scout, and in response, he's going to make a couple Lings of his own. So that's kind of how it goes here. And let's see, my Baneling nest should be going down. There we go, a bit late, but better late than never. And my Lings are going to chase away this drone. Okay, they're pulling back to kind of regroup now. I have 6 Lings on the way. And what I'm basically going to do here is poke, see if he's expanded, basically count his Ling numbers, and that will give me a good idea of what his drone numbers should be like. So see he hasn't expanded, I'm going to run up the ramp, see what I can find. I just see a couple more Lings than what I have, so I'm just going to hightail it out of there. And back at my base, injecting larva. Everything is going right in the Zerg versus Zerg world. Income tab shows we're fairly even on harvesters. And both of us are about to have Ling speed kick in. And my Baneling nest just now finishes. And this is kind of how I've been having the build work. As soon as the Baneling nest finishes, you go and expand immediately. And what would also be prudent is maybe to make 1 or 2 Banelings at the same time. But instead, I'm going to run around with these Lings, scout a little bit, make sure he's not poking out here with a couple of hidden Zerglings that I might have missed. Excuse me. And as well, I know this would be this would be a place where I would morph in some Banelings if he had already expanded. So, looks like Zerglings going into scout. Kind of an overreaction by me. I don't need to be sending all these Lings back. These Lings could actually go in here and poke a little bit and make him have to focus on 2 different things. But instead, he's spreading his creep. Looks like he went with a 2 Queen opener. It's pretty good for spreading your creep, and you can also fend off these early Ling and Baneling attacks. You can wall off this ramp. But anyways, I have quite a couple of Lings on the way, and what he's doing here is he's making Banelings at his base. This is the defensive posture. This is what you do if you want to expand, not if you want to attack. So making Banelings at base, be defensive with that. And look at this overlord positioning here. It's actually pretty good on my part. I'm actually going to see this quite easily. And I see he's morphing in Banelings as well, so I know, okay, I can make a, round of drones. It should be easy peasy, okay. So I should be making drones, should be larva injecting, but I don't know, not quite doing that. Anyways, let's see what we got here. I see these mass Lings, and so I'm going to put one Baneling out here and keep the rest up here. I don't want him scouting the entire strategy I'm going for. But now I see this. I see all these Zerglings coming. Let's get a count right here. It's probably going to be 22 Lings on the way. I'm going to position this Baneling over here to stop this kind of Ling run by, and 2 Banelings taking out that entire army. All that's left, all that remains is 4 Lings, so I'm going to chase these around with my Lings. And 1 Baneling at the top will take care of the rest of those. So let's look at the units lost tab. 200 to 625. I'm coming out way ahead on that. And a little engagement there. And let's see in the production tab I have 10 more Zerglings. Looks like I want to be a little bit aggressive here. But he's actually being aggressive. He's sending out all of his Banelings. I guess he figures, you know, that attack failed. I have to do some damage, but it's not a good idea. It's really just poor control on my part here. He's going to pick off way too many Zerglings for me. To, you know, he's going to catch up based on the units lost tab. So 725 to 875. And look at the production. He's mixing in some drones finally, but the income is 24 to 13. I'm almost twice his harvester count, so really bad. And as we can see here, my mineral to gas ratio is a little bit better than his. I mean, his are pretty much even, and you don't want that early game. You want a higher mineral ratio to gas. You want to be very light on your gas and have some a little bit more minerals. So as you can see, we're going to poke. I see these defensive structures going down. He wants to play defensively. He wants to macro up a little bit, and he is going to fend them off pretty well. The Banelings are going to miss, and it looks like round 2 is going to come in. If I had just waited for these Banelings to morph and we brought in some of these Zerglings, it would have been fine. But I was impatient, and I'm going to totally miss this. He's going to clean up these Zerglings as well. So now look at the units lost. I'm down by 300. It's kind of bad, but sorry, Butternuts, can't talk to you right now. In the middle of a casting session. So he's going to try and pick off this Overlord with 2 Queens without sending any Lings to help protect them. And as a result, I'm going to pick off one of his Queens. Now he is going to finally get this Overlord. I can't really poke in here if he has Banelings and he has Spines. So I'm just going to run away with these Zerglings and, you know, have them live to fight another day. And looks like I'm a little bit supply locked since he killed that Overlord. So in response, I'm going to make 8 Overlords. Yeah, 8 Overlords is not a great way to macro, but if you're that supply locked and you have that many minerals like I had, well, it's just not a good idea. Actually, I could be spending my larva a lot better. My Roach Warren is up. Those could have been spent on roaches, but of course I can't afford them. The supply discrepancies. So, anyhow, finally getting up my second gas. I should be injecting, but let's see. I'm going to choose to shoo away this Overlord. That's not a bad idea. I don't want him knowing the saturation over here. I don't want him getting any information that he doesn't need to have. And it looks like I'm throwing down an evolution chamber as well. And what I want to do here is I want to go for +1 attack roach timing push. It's pretty strong, and it's, you know, not meant to kill the opponent, but you can poke with it. You can kind of get that map control with it, and that's kind of when I feel safe to expand. Although with my minerals being as high as they are, I can just expand now and I would be fine. He's going to poke in here. He's going to see exactly what I'm doing. He sees that evolution chamber. It was just morphing in. He sees the roach warren. So he knows that roach production should be on the way right now. I already have quite a few out. I think that's about 10 roaches. And since I made all those overlords, I'm just going to go send them all around the map. Try to get that fantastic map controls, map vision. So let's see what I can see here. That's pretty good vision compared to what he has. He can see kind of around this area. I have pretty decent map vision, but when these overlords start to spread out, I'll have much better map vision than he will. So let's go back to every carrier Paris and a couple of Banelings. That's a great way to defend that, and that's a great way to punish a Zerg that does that. But the problem is, he doesn't scout what I'm doing. So what I have in my base, actually, let's look at the units tab. I have 20 roaches and 10 Zerglings to his 11 roaches and 3 Banelings. So we can already pretty much tell how this is going to pan out, but I'm going to show you the importance of scouting. If he had sent in one Ling, just one Ling to see all these roaches, he might have backed out and had time to retreat. Instead, he's going to try and attack in here. He's not going to see all of my roaches, and now he sees all of my roaches. Now he knows it's a lost cause. That's way too many roaches. My Lings are coming in since the Banelings are now dead, and they can come in here, start picking off some of these roaches, taking some pot shots here and there. I can't get the surround, but I can start trying to pick off some of the weaker roaches. And I know a lot of people out there say, oh gosh, I hate Zerg versus Zerg, it's a freaking coin flip. It's not a coin flip, you just need a scout. Just like any mirror matchup, if you go blindly for one build and it loses horribly, it's because, not necessarily because you went the wrong build order, but especially in Zerg versus Zerg, it's because you just didn't scout. And if you scout correctly, I know Sen does this very well with this Overlord placement, he can pretty much tell when to go and attack and kill you in Zerg versus Zerg. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. Don't just blindly attack, cross your fingers and hope it can work, or this will happen to you. You'll just go get killed by a ton of roaches. So we can see here in the production tab, Glial Reconstitution is finished, and that's going to be the game. He just leaves. But anyways, if we learned anything from that, is that you can actually expand a little bit earlier than an opponent. If you go Banelings really fast, no massling aggression will kill you, and as well, it pays so much to scout. And also use your Queen's energy on larva injects. I'm not doing a great job macroing, that's way too much energy for only 14 minutes into the game. But you know, he spent so much on creep tumors, and he only had, he had 3 queens, and somehow I still had more drones than he did, even before that engagement. It just, spend your queen's energy on larva injects, and pay attention to that, and drone saturation. He was so low on drones for half the entire game, he just didn't have the economy to support an army like I can. Look at this. That's so many minerals and gas, I can just spam roaches at him all day. He wouldn't be able to do anything. Even if he had fended off this attack, he would have been dead. He would have had a fast tech to something like infestors or something to save the game, but it just wasn't going to happen. So anyways, that is all for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the game and the cast, and I will see you guys next time, but definitely check out this little music video that I put together for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. You don't always have to fuck her hard. In fact, sometimes that's not right to do. Sometimes you got to make some love and fucking give her some smooches too. Sometimes you got to squeeze. Sometimes you got to say please. Sometimes you got to say hey. I'm gonna fuck you softly. I'm gonna screw you gently. I'm gonna hump you sweetly. I'm gonna ball you discreetly. And then you say, hey, I bought you flowers. And then you say, wait a minute, Sally, I think I got something in my teeth. Could you get it out for me? That's fucking teamwork. What's your favorite position? That's cool with me. It's not my favorite, but I'll do it for you. What's your favorite dish? I'm not gonna cook it, but order it from Zanzibar. And then I'm gonna love you completely. And then I'll fucking fuck you discreetly. And then I'll fucking bone you completely. But then I'm gonna fuck you.